Welcome to Canadian PGA TV. We're here on the 18th green, myself and Scott Pritchard. Starter today, Scott. Friend, colleague, and associate director of the Ontario PGA, helping us out here all week, Scott. And this is our first round wrap-up show for the Titleist and FootJoy Canadian PGA Club Professional Championship. And pretty crazy day, Scott. You saw a lot of shots on the first tee. The wind just howling, probably the story of the day, as well as some sun showers going on for a bit. But tell us about being on the first tee this morning. You saw a lot of great shots and saw guys get off to some good starts and some bad starts.
Well, you know what? One of the best tee shots I saw of the day came from Brian Hutton, who just happens to be leading the tournament. 4 under par today, 68. And if you spoke to Brian before the round, I'm sure he'd be, I'm just looking to get out there and maybe get around at even par. And probably a surprise for him to come at 4 under. But, Brian is a great player. He's demonstrated that in years past. And it's good to see an Ontario boy get the early lead.
Well, you know what? He's a pretty soft-spoken guy. He actually, after the round, I was looking for him to do a quick interview. And I saw him on the putting green. He looked over and kind of gave me a bit of a shy look. And he said, I was hoping to get here fast enough so I could dodge the interview type thing, right?
Yeah, and he's probably referring to earlier in the year he led the Ontario PGA Senior Spring Championship and wasn't able to get it done. He struggled the second day with his putter and wasn't able to get it done. And I think after speaking to me, Ontario PGA TV, I may have got a little gun shy there.
Well, I believe we got he's in first place, 68. Got a one-shot lead over 4 guys: Brett Burgess,on Adam Chamberlain, Mark Giroir, and also Graham Gunn. Out of those 4 guys, who's the guy that stands out to you?
Well, Brett Burgess,on being a past champion of this event, won in 2003 at Ile de Montreal under extremely tough conditions. So no surprise to see him shoot 69 today. Spoke to Bruce Rogerson, who played with him today, and said he putted extremely well and played well. He said he hit his driver great. So it's good to see Brett playing well. And another guy, really no surprise, Mark Giroir. Mark had a really good season on the Quebec PGA Tour this year. He won their club professional championship, and he's been close here in years past. A few years ago when Kyle German won, Mark, he I'm not going to say he handed it to Kyle because that would be disrespecting Kyle, but he melted down, and hopefully Mark can keep it together this week. I saw him on the range after his round practicing, and his lovely wife was sitting on the cart waiting for him, so he's here to win.
Now, Adam Chamberlain, who's tied as well at second place at 69, he had a fantastic finish. He finished eagle on 16, par on the tough 17, and birdie 18. Probably the 3 hardest holes in the golf course, or three trickiest holes in the golf course. And he vaulted himself into 69. He said, it feels great. Last year, he said he felt great about his game, and he knew he was a little bit nervous playing with some of the bigger name guys and some of the guys that are mentors type of thing, and he feels comfortable this year. So great to see that. And also, a guy like Graham Gunn, Scott. He's a guy who's won this event before, won our senior championship before, so 2 national championships. 3 is always even better if you can pull that off. But
he almost won a national championship on the European Senior Tour a few weeks ago in October. Finished in 3rd place after narrowly missing a playoff by 1 stroke. And Graham, pardon the pun, is gunning to win this championship for sure. I know he'd love to be a 2-time champion.
I've got a question for you. Are we seeing a bit of a changing of the guard a little bit? I mean, look at Adam Chamberlain, a guy like Dave Zybrink from Westwood Plateau, and also someone like Dan Swanson as well. I mean, we're seeing some younger names and some new blood this year for the first time.
For sure, and it's great to see. But I still think like Danny King, he shot even par today. Spoke to him after his round, and he's having a bit of trouble with his arm. He injured it actually at the Canada Cup earlier in the year, and struggled there. And he was a little disappointed after he had a bit of some struggles on the back 9 today. And but you can't discount Danny, but then not to discount what you're saying either. It's great to see a guy like Dan Swanson all the way here from BC, Dave Zybrink as well, all the way from BC, and that guy, he hits it hard. And it's good to see those guys. The young guard, like Adam Chamberlain, like you said, one of the youngest head professionals, if not the youngest head professional in the country.
28 years old, yeah. Now, shot of the day has to go to Mark Foucault from the Ottawa Valley Zone.
Kingsway Park in Gatineau.
Correct. And hole-in-one today on the 6th hole.
Great. It's a tough hole. It plays downhill, usually into the wind. It played into the wind today. I'm not sure where the hole was cut, but it's one of those holes where you're not sure because there's water left and it's marked yellow, and if you hit it in the yellow, you got to keep your line with you in the flag in that scenario. So it's a tough hole, and it's great to see a hole-in-one from Mark.
Now, final comment, Scott. I know it's only day 1, and as the way it works with tee times, it's going to swap over. So guys that had some of the wind are probably going to have less wind tomorrow morning. But looking at the middle of the pack there, you see guys like Dean North, Bruce Rogerson, Kyle German, guys that have won before, Dan Greenwood, Daniel Talbot. I mean, tomorrow, who do you like to bring themselves back into the hunt.
Well, Danny King for sure. I mean, like I said, I spoke to him after his round. He was going to do some acupuncture on his arm, and you know, Danny can go low, and he's not afraid to go low, and that's a guy you definitely have to look at. You know, it's good to see Mark Burke is another guy from Vancouver, first time playing in this event. He's a native Ontarian, and you know, has played extremely well this year in BC, and is a name that definitely is not unfamiliar to a number of players in this field. So, you know, that's another guy. Just quickly looking at the list here, Daniel Santerre from Quebec played extremely well in this event. I think he's finished in the top 15 every time he's played. He's a great guy. You know, he loves golf. He loves to play, and hits it a long way. He's a senior, but hits it a very long way. So, I mean, those are three guys I like. But you know, like Jeff Keeler had last year, he shot a 65, seemingly came out of nowhere to shoot that. And you know, there's a ton of talent in this field. Dean North, I look down, he's just, you know, just out of the top 20, or in the top 20 there. You know, a guy like Rob Anderson, Bradley Ryle today shot 2 under, is not necessarily a name you would think to do that. So, you know, there's a number of players. It's a really deep field, and 68, great score, but it's only day one.
Well, and last night we had a fantastic award show. Corey Warren from TSN hosted that. Today we had a great first round, and tomorrow it should be the same. So, Scott, thanks for today.
No problem.
We'll see you tomorrow after second
Look forward
round
to
with
it.
a brand new story, and I'm sure a brand new set of guys that are in the hunt.
Great, thanks.